What's up, everybody? Ed Reed has been named Chief of Staff at the University of Miami. This was a huge hire. Great job by Coach Manny Diaz and Blake James for coming up with the idea of bringing in Ed Reed to the coaching staff. I'm extremely excited. Let's go over some responsibilities Ed Reed will have regarding his role of Chief of Staff. So he would be in a advisory role to Coach Manny Diaz, quality control, strategic planning, player evaluation, player development, team building, and also recruiting. I think this is great. Miami needs a ace recruiter, specifically on the defensive side of the ball. But regardless, as a recruit, imagine the last person you meet after you meet the offensive coordinator or the defensive coordinator regarding which position. You meet the assistant coaches on the staff. You meet Coach Diaz. The last person you meet is Ed Reed to seal the deal. I know we have Avante Williams right now, safety out of DeLand, Florida. Considering Florida, Miami, or Georgia, and Kane Sport is reporting that Miami is still a viable option. So Ed Reed comes at Chief of Staff, makes a couple calls to Avante Williams. Perhaps, the crystal ball to Florida suddenly goes to Miami. How can you say no to the greatest safety of all time? I think this is an outstanding hire. Manny Diaz, Blake James, I know we've been pretty rough on those two men this offseason for not going after Alonzo Highsmith, for the god-awful offense, but man, hell of a job, Coach Diaz. Deservedly so, man. He's done an outstanding job this offseason bringing in Rhett Lashley, Ed Reed, and De'Aaron King. Once again, he has, I think this even tops last offseason by far. Specifically, some reasons why I'm really excited. And Gary Furman mentioned this from Kane Sport. Imagine Ed Reed in the locker room mentoring players, being the leader he was as a player and translating that as a coach. In the locker room, I think that would be just a huge movement in the program, and a lot of players will look up to him. And just recruiting, man, he's going to kill it. What player wouldn't want to play for Ed Reed? Yes, he's not coaching, but still, he's a part of the program and the game, the day-to-day operations on how to run a college football program. He will be a part of that. So I think this is huge. And guys, Avante Williams, like I said earlier, man, Miami is still a viable option for him. And he still hasn't made his decision. I know as of right now, I have him as a Florida lock. But, man, Ed Reed being hired as Chief of Staff, hey, just make a call. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll get a one-on-one meeting. I know Avante Williams did meet with the coaching staff on Wednesday. So we'll see what happens there. We're going to have to monitor the situation. Now, Coach Cooney is going to be announced wide receivers coach this weekend, is what I've been told. So definitely look out for that. I know a lot of people were like, hey, why not Reggie Wayne come to Miami, become the wide receivers coach? But it seems like Coach Cooney will be named wide receivers coach, and he's definitely deserved it. He's done an outstanding job in recruiting, building relationships with players. So I really am happy for Coach Cooney, guys. And man, this is great. I cannot wait to see what our next recruiting class in 2021 is going to finish. We get a full recruiting cycle with Ed Reed, part of Chief of Staff, guys. And you know for a fact, he is not going to tolerate mediocrity. He is going to expect greatness. And man, this is a big program changer. I'm 110% excited, and I just can't wait to see him back on the sidelines at the University of Miami. It's always all about the U. Go Canes.